Hi everybody, Dr. Rumbi here. It has been a busy Women's Month, but before we begin, I just want to wish every woman a happy Women's Month. Today I want to talk about culture and relationships. We know that many people, just like myself, love our culture because culture is beautiful in its sense. Culture helps us to create a sense of belonging. It helps us with our identity, and it also helps us in creating family values because most cultures do value family. So that's a really big win in terms of our culture. But one thing I wanted to bring to your attention, especially following up on last week's episode where we spoke about change. Remember, we said change is inevitable, which means we can't really avoid it. As people grow in their relationships, there are so many changes, and we are actually forced to adapt. But one of the things that makes it so hard for many people to adapt is culture, because many people become so stuck in their culture that it becomes very difficult to adapt to the changes that comes within the relationship. So I want to bring to your attention a few things that you can consider about your culture. And the main question we should be asking ourselves when it comes to culture is, can culture at some point become restrictive and harmful? Or when does culture become restrictive and harmful in relationships? Because it can. Number one, rigid gender roles. Most cultures have got gender roles that are very specified, roles and responsibilities that are very specified. This is what a woman should do. This is what a man should do. This is what a boy should do. This is what a girl should do. There's nothing wrong with that, in the sense that when people established this culture, they were trying to create a sort of division of labor for the functioning of society. But remember, last week I spoke about change, and I said one of the things that makes many relationships break down, it's the inability to adapt to change. Now, if we are required to change or to adapt to change, but we are holding on to cultural practices of the olden days, that's a fight that we are never going to win. Because as the world is evolving, things are changing, we are also required to adapt. So many people hold on to their cultures and say, no, this is what a man should be doing, this is what a woman should be doing, this is what a boy should be doing, this is what a girl should be doing. But the question is it working in this environment? Is it working for your family right now? Or you are doing it for the sake of, in my culture, this is how things were done before? Now, if you find yourself not having any justification except culture, then that means something is wrong. Whatever you are doing should be working for your relationship and for your family right now, not just that I'm doing it because that is my culture. Because once it's like that, it means you're going to struggle to change. As the relationship is progressing, as the years are passing by, there are so many things that could change. And you will struggle to change if you are someone who's holding on to the rigid gender roles of the past or of your culture. Number two is silence in conflict. Many cultures believe in being silent when there's conflict. People don't want to poke things. Now, I'm not saying that you should go around poking things, but we do know that when there is a disagreement or when you are not happy about something and you don't find a constructive way of talking about it, it's just a ticking time bomb. It's gonna blow out when you're not expecting it, and then it's gonna affect your relationship. So if you find yourself being silent because in your culture people would just be quiet about it and not talk about it, then you know that your culture has become restrictive and harmful for your relationship. So instead of being quiet because your culture tells you to be quiet because you're a woman, or to be quiet because you're a man, or to be quiet about those issues, find ways, constructive ways, healthy ways to discuss these things. Otherwise, your culture has now become harmful and restrictive for your relationships. Number 3, views about abuse or ways of responding to abuse. Most cultures don't talk about abuse at all. Most cultures believe that it's taboo to discuss issues of abuse. But unfortunately, if you look at research, you will see that when it comes to abuse of children, sexual abuse of children, or sexual assault of children, it is usually done by people who are either known to the family or are actually members of the family. And when I say members of the family, it could be close members or even extended family. It tells us that culture can become harmful in that sense, because when I see, for example, in my culture, when I see my uncle, I am seeing someone who's like my father, because he is my father's brother, he is my father. But in actual sense, they are not. Culture has taught us that they are. So that was good in terms of respecting and maintaining relationships within the family. But it is not good when we use it to deal with the safety of our children. It is not when we use it to judge safety of our children. We should not use a blanket, could I call it assessment? We should not use it as a blanket assessment of safety measures when it comes to our children. If you are supposed to check if this person is a safe person to leave your children with, check. Do not stop the checking because this person is a member of an extended family. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah, so family is good. When we have family support, things get better, Children thrive when they've got people around them from our families. But we must never ignore the fact of checking the safety or assessing the safety of our children, because culture has taught us that family is family. That is why you see that even most of these children, because they know that you as parents trust these people a lot, they will not tell you when this abuse happens. So when you see yourself using culture to justify everything, or using culture to say, oh, this one is from my heritage, so I can just leave this person with my child, it means that your view of culture has become harmful. The last thing that can help you to see whether your view of culture also has become unhealthy for your relationships is when you have pressure to stay in an unhealthy relationship. For some reason, you are thinking, in my culture, I cannot be found without a boyfriend because of the age that I have right now, or in my culture, I cannot be seen as a single father or single mother, and then you just hold on to an unhealthy or abusive relationship, even if it threatens your safety or your life. That means your culture has become harmful, and you need to review the way you view your culture. So what do we need to do? The first thing is to understand that the goal is not to abandon culture. The goal is to let culture grow with us. Remember, we said that in our relationships, we grow. Things happen. We change. Things change, or change is rather forced unto us, and we have to adapt. So how do we adapt if culture is not growing with us? If our culture is rigid and not evolving, how are we going to grow? So yes, the goal is to let culture grow with us. The goal is to have an open mind, to always ask yourself a question: this thing that I'm doing, does it really benefit my family positively? Does it really benefit my family? Or I'm just doing it because culture was like that since many years ago. You should have a good reason for doing what you're doing other than just culture. The other thing we can do is to encourage communication. Encourage open communication in all your relationships. This is not just for romantic relationships only, but in all your relationships with your children. There is no way you will know what is happening with the next person without communicating. So build values in your family that encourage communication. Culture shapes the way we give love and the way we experience love. So you can do a bit of a check and think about the way you give love to someone, the way you receive love, or the way you view your thoughts about how the other person should be loving you. You realize that some of those things are connected to culture. And once we review our culture and think about the things that really work for us and things that don't work for us, you'll be able to have a different view of how you give love and how you receive love. And that's very important.